Welcome to Appetite for Cooking. On today's episode, we are making buttermilk biscuits. You too can make these buttery, tempting biscuits. Let's get started. The ingredients for buttermilk biscuits are self-rising flour, sugar, salt, buttermilk, unsalted butter. Okay, let's add in our dry ingredients. We're going to now add in the self-rising flour. We're going to sift it first. Okay, add in more dry ingredients. Let's add in that sugar. Mix it around. Add in that salt. And mix it around. Let's put on that dough hook. Because we're going to add in the wet ingredients. So we're going to slowly add in the buttermilk. Okay, we are continuing to mix up this dough, and it's at the point in which we're going to stop the mixer because we do not want to overmix this. Before that flour gets kneaded, we'll first need to grate the butter into small pieces, which will be added and folded into your flour to give it that nice buttery flavor. We have 2 sticks of frozen butter, which we are now grating. And what you have here is all the butter that I have just grated. It's starting to warm up, so I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator to cool off, just to make sure that it doesn't start to melt while I'm slowly kneading this into the dough. I've cut off sheets of wax paper for me to place the dough on the counter. This would enable it to be easier for me to work with the dough. I'm going to flour the paper and place the dough on it. And as I said before, the dough will be very tacky, which is really what you want. You don't want to overmix it. So we're using the wax paper as an assistance in folding the dough, being that it's so tacky. And it also reduces the amount of time that you do touch the dough. So fold it. Okay, I think I've reduced the tackiness, so now I could actually work with it on the counter. So let's do that. Here are the strips of butter that was sitting in the refrigerator just to keep it chilled after I had shredded it. So we're going to slowly roll this in and fold the dough over. Keep in mind when making buttermilk biscuits, you must keep that dough chilled. So after I have rolled in all this wonderful sheets of butter, I am going to chill the dough again before I cut out my biscuits, just to keep it in shape. So that all that buttermilk and all that butter doesn't melt and have your biscuits fall when it's baking in the oven. Okay, this is the last of the butter which I had grated. Now I'll be folding that in again. As I have said before, in that this dough has been at room temperature, I am going to refrigerate it for about 10 to 15 minutes just to chill it a bit. Then I will pull it out, work with it again to cut out our biscuits. Okay, that looks good. So at this point, I'm going to refrigerate it. The dough has recently been pulled from the refrigerator, so we're going to now start the process of folding, rolling, and forming our biscuits. I think this is now ready for our biscuits to be formed. Let's get our trusty glass, flour the rims of the glass. Now let's cut out those biscuits. Continuing to roll out and cut our biscuits. Okay, this is the final set. And then into the oven they go. I take that back. I have one more biscuit left. And this is it. Okay, time to put the biscuits in the oven. These will bake for about 20 minutes, but before those 20 minutes are up, we will pull the biscuits out to brush some butter on top and put them back in and have them finish up, get nice and golden brown, so they'll be ready to be served. Okay, let's check in on these biscuits. Looking good. As I've said, I'm going to brush some butter on them. So let's get this butter on the tops. Get them nice and buttery. So these will sit for about a minute. I will pull them out and they'll be ready to be served. Look at these wonderful, wonderful buttermilk biscuits. We've taken it out of the oven and this is the wonderful result. Nice golden brown, nice layered interior. Evenly brown on the bottom, flaky inside. That's what you're looking for. And keep in mind when making this recipe, keep that dough chilled. That would keep it from falling when it's baking in the oven. If you wish to try this recipe yourself, you can find it on our social media accounts. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Appetite for Cooking, and we'll see you on the next episode.